Welcome to this video. This edition is going to be on Bitcoin BTC. I'm probably going to cover the total altcoin market cap as well. We're going to run through a bunch of charts, so stay tuned, sit tight, and I would recommend maybe watching this on 2x speed if you are watching on YouTube. So let me start off with one of my favorite charts right here. It's the 8-day chart. I follow trends. I'm a trend follower. This is how I trade. This is how I believe the best risk management techniques and tactics are involved. Elliott waves is great, but I don't like guessing. So I like knowing. And what I know is so you see that 144, this thing right here. This is, the indicator that I built myself. Here's basically what I'm looking for. So 2 bars, 16 days for the 144 to reach the bottom of the trend here. Okay, so that's 2 days, guys. 2 days until the 144 hits the bottom of the trend. After that, then it's gonna take us 88 days, 11 bars for us to just completely smash upwards. Now go ahead and search astrology. Go ahead and do that. September 14th. By the way, this is the first time I'm kind of really looking at these charts, so I'm gonna obviously discover patterns. So just follow with me as we see the experts in technical charting and all that stuff. They say follow dates, astrology, cycles. So September 14th right here was a bottom, so they say that's an important date, as well as December 17th, an important date. And I know this is an important date because when we go here, December 17th, 11th or the 17th, I believe it fell right on the day, on the same day where it bottomed. So that's why it's important to track the dates. So I'm curious what happened in September over here. So just follow with me. Like I said, 2x speed if you are, if it's a longer video, I would suggest that. So let's take a look at September. Nothing really happened here. It was right here in the trend, and then it did go down. But here I'm looking for more of a bottom. So where's September? That we just passed September right here, 14th, right? So September was right here on this candle. So that's just something that kind of points out something in the trend. Now, don't get me wrong, like it could go like this, get rejected right here, and then come down. But my point of view in the market right now is that in 16 days, the 144 on Bitcoin is going to be right here. 16 days, okay? So that is going to be in, what did I say, 2 candles? 2 candles. So 16 days, October 31st. So the end of the month. I'm also gonna go through another chart on the bull cycle for my timing indicator. So that's one timing indicator, October 30th. This is going to be at the bottom here, and then the uptrend, the previous uptrend, the 144 uptrend is going to start. So this blue moving average is going to start accelerating. That's the psychology of the market. That's how I follow, basically I follow trends. And this is a support. That's the way I look at this moving average as a support, but it's also in 2 bars, it's going to start accelerating. It's going to start accelerating for what did we say? 11 bars. So 11 bars, you just basically count 1, 2 plus 11 for the total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11 right here. So right around in February 2021, which is in about, let's just go ahead, 11 plus 2, 13 bars. January, that shouldn't be, just bear with me. So 13 bars is 104 days here. So 13 bars. So yeah, triple checking is always good. So January 25, 2021, so right after the new year, 104 days from today. 2 more days to close this candle. We are at the top right now for the 8 moving the 8 moving average, which is this guy here, and also this resistance is going to start moving downward. So I would like to see some bearish pressure come through, but at the same time we have this upticking support here on this chart. Okay, so that's really something that I really wanted to point out within the next 104 days for Bitcoin, is that this is a pressure point. Basically, it's like, show me your hands, right? In poker, whatever the saying is, like, show me your cards. So this is going to be at the bottom right here, right? This trend is going to start accelerating. It's going to take 104 days. It's going to be January 25th. Okay, so like right around here, this is the true support, and we're sitting right there at $8,140. You can see these numbers here on the side as well. These are all good numbers that should be supports and resistances. That's the color sequence I have on this chart. Now this is keep in mind, this is on Binance. I can go lower on the time frames. I'm gonna keep this a macro video. All right. So here's the 34 chart, right? Here's the 34 chart. We closed about half a month ago, so we're about halfway through this candle. Low volume. I also have this volume indicator that I'm still kind of working on understanding. By the end of the month, which is in 12 days, I'm gonna guess that the average volume is gonna be above here, and that we should do something like that if it follows this pattern here. Now every time we got a volume spike on this trend line, let's just go ahead and see once again with the patterns. Let's see what happens. So this time we had a down move. This time here though, we had a down move. But this one right here, yeah, that was definitely a down move. So that was 2 down moves right there. Boom, boom. Are we going to get another down move? Spike in volume, of course, but a down move. I've been calling this one for a while. This is May 17th, 2021. That's another important date. I would say a little bit farther down the road, January 2022 is also an important day for Bitcoin. We've got some more resistances. This is the technical indicators, the RSI, just some patterns. It is breaking out of 61. I would say keep your eye on 65 on the monthly chart. So yeah, we're definitely in an uptick right now, even on the higher time frame. I'm just kind of, yeah, that's what I'm saying right now, that 65, and that would also correlate with this pattern that I see right here in price. Just something like this, boom, boom. Yeah, that we're looking at, just something like this, like a 1-to-1, just like a 1-to-1 to touch this right here. But with time and everything, perhaps it's gonna break upwards more, and that would also correlate with the acceleration in the trend that we're gonna see. So this is basically a larger time frame, so it kind of bunches everything up. It's the same type of deal here, but so 12 days, and then the 8 is going to move right here for that support. This is going to be the support in 12 days. So that's in 2 8-day candles. That's when we're going to be at the bottom of this trend on the 144. That's going to start accelerating. So this is going to flip here, and that's going to be there. That's a pivotal moment in the trend. That's when we need to understand, okay, is this candle going to close bullish, which is up, or is it going to start closing downward just like it did all the time in the past? The bears, the bulls, like the traders, they like to fight for these type of time frame closes. You'll see at the end of a time frame candle, lots of volume starts coming in, so they're fighting for their thing. So you have to start understanding the market, the psychological market maker aspect of things. Who's holding the bags right now? Are they strong enough in strong hands to hold the bags and accumulate any weak hands to accumulate any weak hands to push this price up. The price is looking very good right now. The monthly chart's looking very nice, but we are at 60 to 65, which is in the bearish zone. Boom, boom, boom. But yes, the market makers, you have to understand them as, are they strong hands right now? Are they willing to hold, or are they literally going to sell? Is their stop loss right here, right here, which means if this stop loss hits, it's going to fall like 20%, 30% in a day. That's kind of how I look at the markets, but we still have some support moving averages. But that market seller, that could really screw a lot of traders. The people that are strong hands, those are the people. The investor panic is what it's actually called, is when, of course, the investors panic and something like this happens, COVID-19, whatever. This is an investment panic. Is there, do they have more? Are they strong hands, or are they weak hands like they were in the past? We have some buyers. Someone obviously bought this upwards, but are they going to continue? Are we going to stale out here at the top? Are sellers gonna, selling pressure gonna come in, or are we gonna have buying pressure? This is why we look at charts, because it tells you the story of what is going on. So the next month, again, it's gonna take how many days? 88 days or 102 days on this chart for us to reach the top on the 34, and that's usually a pivotal moment. But we're gonna keep that later in an update video, perhaps in a month or something like this, because the 8 is going to be at the top right here in 12 days. Perhaps I'll make a refresh video here. So here's the 8 on the 144 day chart. That's what I be watching. These charts here is basically what I watch in terms of golden ratio and Fibonacci's. So again, we broke out of this type of triangle deal. That's definitely confirmed. The white moving average is all the way down here, sitting at 9,400, which is basically air if we come down. But the 8 is sat on the top right here, and now the bulls are fighting. So if you can use your creative imagination here, in 72 days, is this going to break the top here? Or in 72 days, is this going to tank right here, at least retest it like it has in the past a lot of times? Maybe start again, consolidate, bang, like that. That's kind of what I see on this chart right here. That's what it's kind of showing me. We're going to continue here. Here's the weekly charts. Not as good as the daily in my opinion, but still good. For the trends, you can see that the candles like this, bang, 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 and then a little bit of an uptrend. You got this obvious spinning top candle, and then boom, 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 reversal candle right here. This one was a reversal candle as well, but with low volume, we always like to trade on confirmation. These are very high time frames, so of course a break of this would have been nice for you, but you know, anyways, continuation of the trend, up, and then we still are in an uptrend on this chart. Okay, we did have a spinning, you know, reversal candle here, but if we break that top, all this volume is basically going to go upwards, and anybody who is short right here is going to get squeezed if they haven't already. So that's the question: is the short squeeze done? If I go to the 8-hour chart, you can see that obviously we did have a 3% move, breakout type deal. So this is the question that we have to ask ourselves: is the short squeeze done? Now, another thing that I be watching is this one right here, the 144. So we're kind of topping out with some spinning top candles, but the way I've counted this in terms of Elliott waves is this. So this is the A, this is the B. This is a really weird one because I counted this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So this is why Elliott waves is like kind of a guessing game. So I kind of just stick to the trend, but it is really about the way you interpret the market. I think that there's going to be a pullback, not right now, but yeah. So here's a volume indicator that I really love. Right here is literally the box that I'd be in. I didn't take this trade yet, but this is just kind of something that I'd be watching. Obviously it broke out, it's uptrending. I usually wait for confirmation, so that's kind of what I'd be watching here. Hold on one second. Where's that volume indicator? It is right here. So that's where we're watching, right about 11.9. To be more specific, it's like the top of the box right here, so 11,865 on the lower time frames. Anything here that we have on the RSI, we actually broke out of 60.65. So the question is that everybody's asking, are we going to break out of here? Are we going to break out of here? So that would be a huge short squeeze. Yeah, where's the Fibonacci's? Do I have them on? I only have one. So this one hit the 61.8, so you count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 waves here. So we're asking, our question here is A, B, C, but this is not a valid B in my opinion. So let's just count it as an A, B, C, or a W, X. It's more probably a W, X, Y when it comes to Fibonacci's. Now the timing indicator is something that's even more important. That's why I have the timing indicator and the risk to rewards. But anyways, let's go back to the analysis, and you can figure this out on yourself for your own risk to reward and risk tolerance. I don't even like to do anything more than 5%. That's a large time frame that I'd be trading on. I like 1%. I like break-even trades, and riding those. My theta trade was a very successful trade that I called out probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. Be honest with you though, I took profits a lot sooner than I should have. The same day that it was kind of a swing trade, but I should have obviously held on to it and took 20% like I was planning on instead of 5. So a little bit ashamed about that. Yeah, so when I knew it was still bearish, on the daily chart, I was trading the daily chart, so that's what, psychology and your own kind of rules and expectations and all that stuff is important in trading. So this is another chart that we have here, 75 days. I mean, not much to say about this one, to be totally honest with you, because there's not that much data. But 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, and then it might be a trend change. So the whole point that we're trying to make here in the video is this going to be a trend change or like a continuation upwards? We have targets. Here's a target on Binance. It's not that good actually. There's one on BLX which is much better, but this one here, just a simple, no, this one, yeah, this one's only at 30,000 BTC, 1.618. 61.8 that we've seen resistance. You always want to see confirmation that something is working. 61.8 was working, so came back down pretty damn steep. So that's what you like to look for. Look, 5.2, whatever, 0.9 as a stop loss. Those are type of risk rewards that are great in our favor. So like that, you can probably see a lot on the small time frames. But anyways, this is 30,000 that we're looking for. But then is it going to continue to trend, right? So that's the macro update. And are we going to pull back down here like we've discussed? Let's go more in depth into the bear market cycle and the bull market cycle. Yeah, okay, let's actually start off with the bear market cycle here. We have the VPA, VWAP, that we've literally just broken out of, right? I drew this yesterday. I believe I drew this yesterday. And it's not the same number that it was on the other one, right? But anyways, I have this red box up here. This 1.618 here is sitting at 12,340. This one here is 12,000. All right, so let's go back to the numbers and try to kind of estimate what the trend is going to say here on this chart, on this cycle here. So all these 3 cycles I'm about to share with you, they're valid. You know, they come from principles. Anyways, there's 14 hours left on this chart to close, and then the 55 becomes on this candle here, and then we basically consolidate for 72 days. Okay, does that align with the other charts that we're watching? Kind of, right? Kind of. And then this thing just continues to uptrend. Da, da, da. Okay, so this is a nice, obviously it's a nice cycle. Crossover, we're at 62 on the RSI. I like to see 65. So I think that would be the bearish cycle. This also kind of looks a little bit like a flag. You can always be adding your Fibonacci type deal like that. Also on the other side, the retracement, just to see if you know, some patterns are at the 61.8 right now, so we break through out of that. So there's some big resistance right here. The VPA is usually a very strong resistance. Yeah, I don't know why this one's a little bit different than the other one, but it is what it is, and it is what it is. So let's go to the, oh yeah, let's talk about that date right there too also, because November, you know, next month here, November 8th, is looking like it's going to be a little bit of a reversal day. I think this one's less essential than the one I'm going to show you on the bull market cycle, because this one's kind of eyeballing it and the other one's more specific. Let's be, you know, so on the 13-day chart, let's go back here, the 55. The 55 is going to be at the bottom of the chart here in 5 days, so it's going to be at the bottom of the trend. Same type of principle here, that this is going to start accelerating. How much is it going to start accelerating? Well, it's going to take about 53 days for it to go sideways still, but eventually after that 53 days is done, it starts accelerating again in 11 bars. That's that must be different than this one, yeah? 7 bars, yeah. So 11 bars, the 55 is going to accelerate quite high in, you know, so, but it's going to consolidate first for 5. Okay, so 5 bars here starts to accelerate. The moving average exponentials are a little bit calculated differently than moving averages, as they take the these bars more, what's it called, more weight on these ones than these ones, but it's just basically it's moving. It's important to be looking at its moving trend. It's basically how you follow the trend and eyeball it as an actual guide to measure the trend. So here's the 13. You see obviously that it's uptrending quite steadily, and let's go back and see, okay, well, when did it start, right? So the same type of deal here. What happened when it started accelerating is that the price retested it and just it's starting to go up, because that is what it is. It's a demand. This is a demand zone in time and price, because it gives the money managers, it gives the traders a very good risk to reward. So what they're doing is right now, what I believe is that they're using smaller time frames to tighten their stop loss and to kind of get entries, because they're basing their trades off of the large time frames, yes, but the smaller time frames and their stop losses, because we're way above, like, did you see that 144 day chart where like the moving average is sitting at 9,000 whatever dollars, and it's not like we can't just completely shoot upwards here away from the moving average, but I'm just saying that's a demand zone, and I'd be watching as well as this EMA here, the 3. The 3 is gonna, you know, consolidate for the next candle here in 5 days. A reminder that this is the, I mean, it's a bearish candle, right? So it just flips on it. So this candle right here that opens in 5 days is you know, try again, use that imagination. You can see that here we've got down, it was getting pushed down, right? and then still getting pushed down, never closing above this price in such a long time, so we say 12,000 is a big number for Bitcoin to close above in any of these charts. So the same type of deal here, push down, push down and push down, and now we're actually getting some closes. This is how I follow the trends. We're getting some closes that we're actually kind of cutting it close there. That's a reversal candle in the 55-day, but it's continuing upwards. So here's the 3 pushing up prices. We're sitting at 11,100, but it's uptrending quite fast. If the price comes down, it's going to have to retest that, but I don't think the price is going to come down there. I think the price is going to come back down to test that 93 area again. There's another confirmation. I would say let's go back to the 13 and take a look at that. We're at 61 on the RSI. Kind of looks a little bit like this is the bearish cycle. The MACD is still in the positive. Bearish cycle is it might be biased to the downside, but so here's 60. Maybe it just looks more bearish, but it is what it is. So to the upside here, kind of looks like the moving averages are pointing by it. So the same thing here. So 5 days, 15 hours. 5 days, 15 hours. Before we kind of make before we close this candle for the next candle open, this might be a bear flag downwards or a continuation. I'd have to, we'd have to watch this one right here for the 13. Also moves up here in 5 days, which is going to be the end of that trend. Okay, so you see how basically the strategy works. It would be the end of that trend. So this candle right here, but that's still for 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Are we going to consolidate here for 3 weeks? That could be it. Kind of like this, right? And see, okay, where's the supply? Where's the demand? Same type of questions that you have to always be asking. Are they selling? Are they buying? So that's what you have to be watching. So the 55 on this chart here has been upticking. You can see it's curving upwards. I'd be watching those first couple charts that I showed you, very closely. So here's the 13 on the reversal candle. 75 days. It's going to end, right? It's going to come down in 75 days. That means this thing right here, this moving average, is going to sit there for a while, for a long time actually. So this chart, that's a year. So this chart's kind of irrelevant, but it could be a good knife catch. I wouldn't even bother with this chart right now, but it's a good pointer, right? Saying that, okay, this is basically useless for us right now, for the bulls, anyways, for the bulls pushing up the prices. But the 3 is very useful because in 75 days it actually starts getting pushed up, and the support here is at 10,600, and it's upticking in price. So hard to see here, but yeah, basically I think that we're gonna have a volume spike here at the end of the week, like I mentioned. And here's the 3-month chart, last one that we'd be looking at here. 72 days to close. We're at the bottom with the 13, which means that the next 3 months is actually going to start upticking, which might bring us back to 9,300. The real question we got to ask again is, are we going to continue this trend, breakout, or are we going to come back down? To be honest with you, just looking at this like that, it doesn't. Right now, it doesn't look like it would do something like that. This is definitely like some type of a continuation pattern, right? Bang, bang, bang. I'm sure that the candlestick patterns. But anyways, this is Binance once again, and anything else on these cycles, I can show this one here. This was the breakout point, continuation of the trend. It's basically a pivotal point where it retests demand, right, and supply. So this one here, we got the Fibonacci extension like this, boom, boom, and so it hasn't really been that reliable for us. I mean, the 1-to-1 was okay, but then consolidation. I think this is a 4th wave, and then continuation in the 5 if we have to break it down on the lower time frames to see if this is 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which could be a start of something, the end of something, or like an A, a B, or like a 3. So if it's a 3, it's gonna go right here, basically. Basically, if it's a 3, it's going to go right here, which is 12,338, and then come back down for that fourth wave. So I'm still a little bit uncertain on the direction of the markets here when it comes to market maker psychology. But let's go back to the bull cycle here, not to phase you or anything, but pivotal moments in the trend. This is what we're looking for. So here's 5-day chart. We're 4 days in right now. The 89 was here a couple days ago, and you know what happened? This is a blessed chart. This chart right here, this cycle right here is pretty good right now because I believe it's activated on this chart, and that tells us actually a lot about what's going on with the market cycles. So what do you mean by that? Go ahead and backtest this. So 7 days. So we go back and backtest this 7 days. It started to uptrend. That's how we understand the confirmation of a trend. The bulls are in. The 89 was right here. It's going to downtrend. But what do? They actually come up in the steam here. We also have to take a look at the other time frames here with the 21. So the same type of deal here that we have 8 or 9 bars. So let's go back 8 or 9 bars where the bulls become under pressure. So 8 or 9 bars, consolidation. We really want to see what's going to happen in 20 to 15 days when the white line, this one right here, is going to be under pressure. So basically the buyers are going to have to maintain this white moving average upwards if they want to uptrend the prices. Of course, with the 89, this one becomes susceptible. What's that word? It becomes vulnerable to negative price changes because it is going down. I hope that makes sense. But at the bottom here, when the 89 becomes at the bottom here, it is not vulnerable, but it is strong, right? So this is 235 bars, 45 bars downwards. It becomes strong, the 89. So in 200 whatever days, if the price is still above this moving average, it is then in a strong position according to the trend, and the price should be following this moving average. And if you can get the price, or if you can buy close to this moving average, that just basically gives you a great money management risk to reward as you ride the trend and you don't take your profit. Now that's the challenge, the strong hands. But the other challenge is when to buy. So timing is important, but having the strong hands and the courage to hold when the price is going in your direction, and when you start in profits, and to hold your winners, right? Because you know that the trend is up. It's really a skill and a good mindset, right? So here's the 5 right here as well. The 5 is right here, so continuation of the trend. You count these waves, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be A, B, C. Downwards here, retest the 89. This is the bullish chart right here, okay? And then it will look something like this. I know I don't care about proper labeling. I'm just here to show you how I look at the markets and what I'm actually looking for here. The C's are pretty profitable trades. It'd be some type of 1-to-1, and of course this would be probably even a bigger one like that. Maybe this could break like that as well if it be an ABC, and of course it could break upwards. And how would it break upwards? It would just look something like this. So this would be an extended 5th wave, probably an extended 5th wave. The 3 would be again at the 12,300 like we said last time. The 4th wave, the rule is that it cannot break the 1, and it will probably be pretty strong, catching up to this 21 moving average upwards like that, and then basically breaking upwards like that. So the extended 5th wave. Then basically it's a free-for-all where we would have to recount this the whole structure. Now Filicon, respect to Filicon, he's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He thinks this is 1 and this is 2 going downwards. But if you obviously know the Bitcoin trend is bullish. It's very bullish. The pullbacks are light. Sometimes it pulls back like 40% though, like in the BLX chart. The BLX chart is an index of Bitcoin. I don't know where they get their data from. This is something that I'd be working on as well. But you can obviously see that the pullbacks on this thing, it hugs the 21 moving average here pretty nicely, not perfectly, but I believe that on Binance it would work a little bit better. Okay, a little bit better. Never touching the 89 until right here. This is the bulls, where the bulls are under pressure. Let's just take a look as an example. It's probably a bad example here, but let's just go ahead and see where the bulls actually became under pressure, is where the trend started turning upwards, right? So turn up, where the volume started accelerating as well. So that's when kind of topping out here, and a lot of times it does get the tops because the market trades, in my opinion, my belief about the market is that it trades in fractals and patterns that could be measured. At least this market does. And yeah, so the Fibonacci's, the pullbacks, retracements, they generally pull back. Like this one here was the 61.8. This one here was 382, just to do it quickly. This one here was probably a 0.5. I don't use the 0.5 though, but so the 382, this one, and this one here was the 61.8. So the 61.8 and 382 is kind of the better ones to use. So let's go back here. That's how you basically measure a pullback scenario that you'd be looking for Bitcoin. So let's continue here, because that's kind of what we would be looking for. So yeah, that's how I use Elliott waves. You have to do your imagination, your interpretations of Elliott waves, and also incorporate what market makers are doing. So that's more of a guess game, guess theory, a hypothesis, an educated guess, rather than an actual formula that measures and follows and tracks the market. But you need a well-rounded strategy, as well as timing, so that you can actually hold your assets and actually sell and take profits at the time that you actually need to preserve your capital, so that you could you could add when it falls, when it's actually at a good price. Now, the reason that at the beginning of the video I said that I might be looking at the total altcoin chart is because all the altcoins right now are actually falling in regards to Bitcoin going up. So that is a sign and symptom that Bitcoin is more than either Bitcoin is going to go up like crazy, and altcoins go down, or they're both bearish. Usually, the trend in Bitcoin, the previous trend in Bitcoin, basically, market makers, they sell their altcoins into Bitcoin, right? Into Bitcoin, and this happened right here. Yeah, this happened right here in this pump. All the managers, whatever, they sold their altcoins into Bitcoin, and then after they sold Bitcoin. Okay, so we're just capitalizing on the Bitcoin trend. This thing went up 50% in terms of extended fifth wave. I thought right here I started buying altcoins. I made my mistake. Okay, I made my mistake. Instead of buying Bitcoin, I bought altcoins. Altcoins didn't move. Altcoins were going down. I lost money while Bitcoin went upwards. So that's not cool. That's at the end of the phase. That's the market cycle where you want to be selling altcoins. Maybe not shorting. Depends how risk tolerance and how well you understand the market, and which one's going to dump, which one is not in demand, which one is a garbage, like a coin, garbage coin. That is definitely dumping. Like, but at the same time, the good coins, the essential coins that are going to stay for a long time, those ones are going to get accumulated. They're going to get accumulated at the bottom of Bitcoin's trend. So they can get accumulated all the way down here, but nobody really likes to buy something that's going downwards. But anyways, at the bottom of Bitcoin's thing, like right here, this is where they start to buy altcoins. Like something like this as well, they start to buy altcoins, but like more so like this, like an accumulation. This was altcoin buying. Right here is like a big one, okay? So accumulation and distributions. This is weird, right? But there's also something called here, I haven't studied it too much, but it's called liquidation theory, where yeah, you can make a lot of money, and that's honestly what we could be doing, a liquidation theory of anybody who's short. Unfortunately, I've been on that side of the markets before, so I kind of know how it feels, and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good at all, right? So I mean, know your risk, and also, but you learn from that experience. Of course, you learn from that experience, and you kind of you know the feeling, so that you can actually ride the trend the next time. It's just the courage to actually ride. Look at this thing. Bitcoin's going upwards in price. Theta is going downwards. Theta is getting distributed. It's getting sold. Bitcoin's getting bought. It's getting accumulated. I'm gonna guess that Theta is literally going right into Bitcoin like that. Like you can sell Theta to Bitcoin, and I wish I held my Theta, and I wish I not only held my Theta. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up. But I wish I actually pyramided to my Theta position. Like I said, I got in right here at 70, almost 73, 72.50 right here, right on this break, and then I believe I closed it right here 68.70. 68.70. So I mean, it was like not bad, right? But come on, if you be this is a 13-hour chart. If you be using the daily chart, you'd be much better. So I mean, nice little pullback, but I didn't have the courage or whatever. I wasn't even watching the market to get back in, and that's the problem here. So people think that this is going to be a 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, you have to watch out for that, because if you're Silicon and your dollar cost averaging down, I've been told and I've been taught that that's not the best way to do it, especially in something like this in the distribution phase. That's not where you want to be dollar cost averaging. That's how you get wrecked, my friend. That's how you get liquidated, because on a 3x account, it only takes you 33% to get liquidated. On 20x account, it only takes you 5% to get liquidated. 4.5. But yeah, sure, if it breaks this support, this thing's literally going to go down. And yeah, anyways, I think I called it off. I mean, like, I think I did. I mean, watch my videos, right? I said warning, urgent warning, Theta bearish. And I think that maybe I did this one last pump, but where you could have literally sold it short. But I wasn't watching the market here either. I sold it right here. So 250 came down, and then on this day right here where it fell 5%, I took my profit right here. So a 68.70. So right there, right? And then it consolidated, came back a little bit, right? 70, and then sorry for swearing there, but then it fell down 13 more percent. And now from the place where I sold it, it's down 12%, and tanking right now. Okay, tanking. So like RSI supports can probably get broken, like all the deal, right? So yeah, really not cool to be missing a move like that. And it did come back up, and I capitalized on a short squeeze opportunity. A short squeeze opportunity upside, made like a little bit of dollars right here, but that's not like swing trading. So instead, swing trading is better. So again, for myself, my own little thing right here. So I believe I shorted right here. Okay, it fell down, I took my profits right here, and then it consolidated, and you wait for these pullbacks that you add to your position. So instead, if I just held my position, okay, maybe took a little bit of profit and then re-added right here on the pullbacks, adding instead of whatever. So the daily chart is kind of the best way to do it, and you just kind of look at the candles, you know, downtrend, 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 downtrend. Let me get rid of the labels here. But yeah, like we're breaking support here, and these things are about to cross over. I think this is literally going down super much, and I wish I held it, and I don't have necessarily the courage to get back in because I don't have a cushion. This thing could come back up. I mean, there is 5 waves, so I'm not in the best position anymore, and that's unfortunate because my risk was nothing. My risk was nothing. It was break even. Now my risk would be a lot if I get back in. That's how I trade. And look, the price is tanking. I just can't. I can't. You know, stop. I might start trading it like on a 3-minute candle there and just day trade it. But yeah, like this thing looks very, very tanky to me. That's theta, and the other ones as well. But I'm not gonna open that up. Let's take a look more again at Bitcoin and understand that the altcoins are going down, so they're getting distributed, right? So no wonder that Bitcoin is going upwards. But I believe that Bitcoin could have some downside, but if it breaks here, it will get liquidated to the upside, which also makes sense. Now this theory right here, 20 days it took. It took 20 days to go upwards in price. It took 80%, which means that this was distributions of altcoins into Bitcoin. It takes a lot of time to accumulate to distribute something. So if it's true that this is the end of the distribution of altcoins, then we should continue upwards for Bitcoin for maybe, I don't know, like it's been more than 20 days, but we'll see. We'll see the toppy action of Bitcoin, and then that'll be done. That'll be it for the altcoins. Altcoins would have a huge break. Now this has been, literally, it's been 480 days, almost 2 years. So yeah, like we're looking for a big break as well, to the up or to the downside. Here's your support, your resistances. Let's go to the, I try to end off this video, and I'm gonna go to the total altcoin chart right after. 21's coming down. This is the white one. The 5 right here is kind of pushing up the prices, but we do have a huge stall right here. But anyways, that's going to take about 42 days for us to get there. We can also take a look at some other coins. So like obviously the green, boom, follow that trend like that, and we're still above. We're still above. Now the MACD is bearish, and the RSI is also bearish in my opinion. Because we're below 60, 65, and we've been getting rejected in the MACD. But at the same time, the histogram is in one uptick. So let's check the 5 real quick. I mean, it's upticking, but we're still in the negative side. It could get rejected. The 3-day didn't. The 3-day crossed over. So yeah, here's the 3-day, and here's the. Let's go back to here's the 3-day. So yeah, I'd be watching the 3-day chart because it gives you the quickest signals. We gotta go here. So uptick on the MACD, on the RSI, right here 60, 58. That's bearish. Okay, in my opinion. So RSI goes by closes. We haven't necessarily had a close right here for a long time. Right here, but then we actually broke out on this candle right here. So what does that mean? Generally means this might be a trend change continuation to the upside. We also have the 5 moving average pointing up very strong. Now if it starts breaking this, like this literally could be game over right here. We have a strong histogram. Usually when it's strong like this, it'll go like this, bang, and start going down to the downside. But I really hope that it doesn't. Right? I really hope that it doesn't. I don't think I checked the 89-day chart. So this chart's pretty nice as well. Boom, 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 boom. But I want to just skip it, go to the weekly. We have 26 days and we're at the bottom of the 21 trend. The 21 trend's going to start accelerating to the upside, so this is kind of good. Lots of charts, lots of things to consider. So probably rewatch this video for myself. And so the 5 as well is at the bottom of the trend and starting to uptick. This 21 is going to close in 5 days, so definitely stay tuned on that. Here's the 5-month chart. 5 months at the bottom of the trend here. Once again, here for Bitcoin with 11 days, 14 hours to uptrend in the 5-month chart. Now the 21, this is one of my favorite charts right here. one of my favorite charts is like definitely for the hour charts right here. So October, why don't I have an alert? Let me put an alert on that. And this is beautiful charts, right? So this is something that we can get a reversal. This is something that, excuse me, in price and time. Price and time. We could get a reaction like right up here as well. But like right here, I'm saying like there's going to be a decent risk to reward as well. So let me add the short position because it's going to give you the best as theta is going down here. And so that's my challenge. That has been my challenge, to be able to hold a good position and know when you're in a good position. So it's really a skill to master. So yeah, 2.8%, no problem, bro. I'll take that trade. Of course, understanding risk and understanding what the target, what the plan is, because I want to be adding to this trade, right? It's still at the top here. So when it does confirm, it starts to come down, that's when I want to add to it. I don't want to take my profits. I want to add to it, just like I should have done in theta. So learn by your mistakes. All I've got to say here. So here's the 5-hour chart. We broke out of that trend line, kind of bull flag, symmetrical triangle type deal, came upwards on a pivotal time moment, kind of, -1 on strong volume. So it kind of looks like a little bit of a short squeeze. Kind of makes sense. That's a lot of volume in 4 days, 14 hours. So the same type of deal here that we got to understand. And this to me kind of looks toppy. So for Bitcoin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Same type of leading diagonal. Like leading diagonals, those are really, really high probable trades. Like we probably won't even get up there on the Fibonacci's on a larger scale. We probably won't get up there. That's why I like using time, because time is going to give you the best foresight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe. So what would you do here? I would add the time, which is pretty much like right here, right now. So I would double it in time and space, and maybe actually put it right here, because this is actually, but that's way too far, right? That's way too far. But it's still going to be like we might bounce around here for a bit. Sorry about that. So yeah, to go lower on the lower time frames here, we just have to really understand what is going on here in the accumulations, in the distributions, in this trend. The same theory goes and applies on lower time frames, where the 89 becomes at the bottom of the trend and this thing starts to go upwards. So it's going to be like, for the longs, if you're a bull, a very good lower risk, higher, but it's going to be a lower probability because you're like basically at the top of a trend here. But it's going to get tight on the price, just like this, like the 21, and it's starting to uptick. But then you have this challenge in your trend, and you don't want that to be in your trend. That's not likely. So go to the 5-minute chart if you really want to get that understanding. So the 21, there's nothing in here for the 21. After the 21 becomes right here, it becomes bullish. It becomes bullish for how long? Probably one more wave up. That becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So that's how basically bang. The trends basically work like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically, this is invalidation. There's probably one more wave. If it breaks this trend line to the upside, like that type of thing, people are going to start selling. You can use like 5% of your account, whatever it is, man, but get on that trend, because then it breaks this trend line, you add another 5%, then that's basically how I trade as well. On any pullbacks, put another 5%, but that's not exactly how I trade. Man, I'm actually a little pissed off, but it's okay. I'm gonna close this video. I just want to do one last thing, in total 2. I just want to take a look at it's just because like I missed out on theta, and it's still like I'm seeing money just slip through my hands right now. It's kind of shitty. It's not that I'm losing money. I'm not holding losers anymore, I'm not like that, but I'm missing out on opportunities here, and that's fucked, I think. So yeah, obviously you see the trend of Bitcoin's all the way up here, and total market cap 2 is like struggling to maintain. It's getting pushed down. So last but not least, Bitcoin dominance, 89. So they should be the same, right? The total altcoin 2 in total, but they're not. So Bitcoin dominance has been, you count the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves right here. So 5 waves right here. You get some type of channel ABC. B, C, or W, X, Y. I don't care about labeling. I care about understanding. I care about profitability, profitable trades, low volume to the downside, and now it's actually getting sort of accumulated. If we can trust this Bitcoin dominance crypto cap, but yeah, it definitely does look like it's getting accumulated, which means that altcoins are probably selling off into Bitcoin. But so the 89 is going to be at the top of the trend. This is an interesting chart, in 35 days. So I don't know how it's going to react to that. That's basically the end of the trend, where it's gonna have to, the bulls are gonna have to, they're gonna have to, like, what's their competition? Like, yeah, but that's basically it for this video. I hope you like and share, subscribe, whatever, comment that you understand. I try to keep my videos under 1 hour. Anything else that I have to sum it up, post in the comments if you want to comment, right? So yeah, peace. Subscribe. Cheers.